Hello everyone, my name is Will and I'm here to do an album review. This time is Bassnectar, Vava 2012 release, April 10th. It comes with 11 songs and it's 54 minutes long. Heard Bassnectar's previous work, Divergent Spectrum, last year. Big fan of that album. And I've heard some of his previous work, and I could say that Bassnectar has progressed through the years to kind of join out of that underground dubstep sound that you would find yourself, listening to in compilations such as This Is Dubstep Volume 2, into more of a mainstream, or at least I think, hitting that mainstream type of dubstep where it's a danceable dubstep, featuring artists just like Lupe Fiasco in this album, or last album with Ellie Goulding, I think it was, and I think it is either something you like or you don't like, but yet Bassnectar still keeps that original dubstep sound, very to the core. Not too much going on, just your basic dubstep sound drop, and very amusing, relaxed, chilled music to what he is today with this new release, Vava, which features Lupe Fiasco and this different type of genres all into one, with Bassnectar giving his own twist to it. The first track, very hip-hop orientated, rapping, and then he just introduces that dubstep, which, by the way, that track is amazing. Then you have the next track, where he just loops voices, or he loops sounds, and I'm just talking about the album overall, not the next track, not the second track, just the overall album. The song Ping Pong, he uses a ping pong sound and turns that itself into a beat, or the track Laughter, which I personally don't like. I like that he uses voices and turns them into beats themselves by repeating and looping the voices, but I feel like it wasn't executed in that song very well. Another song like Ugly, he does that right, but in Laughter it just did not hit with me. When it comes to sound, I feel like he loves to grab one genre, and then after he's done playing with it and experiment with it a little bit, he jumps into his own dubstep sound and brings the dubstep back to what it is, no longer touching upon what he's trying to loop, or he has those African sounds, or that rock when he's covering that song and putting his own twist to it, or even his hip hop track with Lupe Fiasco, the first track. He first does that, then he does a drop, and then it's back to the good old dubstep that's very repetitive. But I mean, that's just what dubstep is. If you're a fan of dubstep, this is perfectly fine. So overall, I really enjoyed this album. I thought his previous work was better, but it's all up to you. He has both the mainstream dubstep, this sort of in-between dubstep, and through the end of the album, like by the time you get to the end, he doesn't do that whole mainstream, very dancey. He just kind of mellows it down, and it's actually very chill. It's a nice way to end the album. You can definitely listen to this album all the way through. If you're not a big fan of dubstep and you only heard Skrillex and stuff like that, well, this is a little bit more mature, dubstep, not what you hear in the radio as much with artists like Skrillex. I enjoyed this album. I thought it did a very good job at being experimental and keeping true to the dubstep sound, and yet being slow and chilled and having different types of beats, and it's either very upbeat or very chilled and mellowed. So it was everywhere, very original, not boring at all. And I just wish some songs were executed better. I feel like some songs blow other songs out of the water just because it just wasn't done. It felt rushed. It felt, I don't know. So overall, I give this album a 6 out of 10. If you're a dubstep fan, a Bassnectar fan, or just somebody trying to get into dubstep, this is a really good album to do so. But just know it's not what you are going to be listening to in the radio and the clubs. This is a little bit more to the core, just barely touching on that mainstream. Other than that, I have nothing else to say. Pick it up if you're a big fan. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and see you next time.